my name is Rage, and welcome to the second and final. It's the final part now of Don't question my face. It's the final part of the America trip videos. Yes, indeed. Part 2 being the thing, and as you can see, it starts with Disneyland. That is a picture of my paper ticket on my leg while we're in the car on our way to Paper Ticketville. Yes, on our way to Paper Ticketville, on our way to Disneyland. So this video is going to cover Disneyland and Universal Studios because that is all that is left for me to really tell you about. There's a few extra bits, but that is the main component of what I will be telling you about. So, after spending 8 years stuck in traffic, we finally arrived at Disneyland. So in the background there's just going to be general footage of us wandering around Disneyland while I explain it all things. So yes, we arrived, we had to queue up to get Jake and Hollow tickets because they did not have pre-printed out ones because that was just for me and the Machinima people. And you know, we generally wandered around, had a look at everything. It is really cool. Though I have to say it is very eerily similar to how Paris Disneyland is, because that's the Disneyland I've been to before, and they are so similar. It's like they just copy pasted the pack to Paris and made a few little changes. But that did not stop it from being any less magical! Yeah! Disney! Woo! No, but seriously, it was absolutely fantastic, was the day at Disney. The only downside to Disneyland is that it's so busy. You just, like, seriously, we got on, like, 4 rides, not to mention the rides that we tried to queue on, and they were like, no, this ride is closed. I don't know why it's randomly closed. Like, for example, we tried to queue to Space Mountain later on in the day, at my request, obviously, because, you know, sod's law here. We queue for about half an hour and they're like, sorry, it's closed, no idea when it'll be back open, sorry for the inconvenience. Well, you better be, because it is a big one. So everyone's like, ah, you made us queue for that, you suck. And then, you know, that was that. But yes, it was beautiful weather, as it always is in LA. Apparently you guys get the best weather ever, and just wandering around and everything was great. As you can see, we got lunch, which was in a bread bowl, which was awesome. And then the first ride we went on was the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Now that ride was really quite fantastic. Some various footage of us arriving, about to get on the ride, you know, stuff like that. I did try and record like the actual ride itself where we were going down. It's just so dark that the camera had such a hard time picking it up. It wasn't really, I mean, you can see glimpses in the footage, hopefully, if it's lined up correctly with my audio voice. But, you know, the camera really wasn't happy at trying to pick up the stuff while on the ride. So we got off Pirates of the Caribbean. We attempted to go on Splash Mountain after that, but they were like, no, Splash Mountain's closed. We were like, oh. So instead we went for the Haunted Mansion. That's the Haunted Mansion. Yeah, and I recorded the entirety of the Haunted Mansion ride, but as you can see from the, like, flecks of colour going past the steam, past the screen is what I'm going for. It really didn't like recording that either. After the Haunted Mansion, we went on Star Tours. Now, Star Tours was amazing. Really was. This was the little intro bit to Star Wars when you have to walk past the robot, which was really quite fantastic.
Keep it going. I got my eyes on you. Not just these two, I've got others. But I'm not telling you where.
Okay, so Star Tours was great. The demonstration video, they actually had actors dressed up like Star Wars characters to show you the safety instructions for the ride. And each time you go on Star Tours, it's a different sort of simulation, like, journey that you go on. There's 10, I think, like 12, 18 different options, so each time you go on it, you get a different route through Star Tours. Like, apparently, ours was amazing, but apparently the one we got was the worst one, according to people that we asked. Sod's law again, right? But it was still fantastic. Definitely the second best thing we did all Disney was go on that Star Tours ride. It was great. You really felt like you were in the ship, and it was just knocking around in the 3D, and C-3PO sat in front of you. I would have recorded it to you, but they told us not to record inside the thing, so, you know, I'm a good boy. Okay, so after Star Tours, which was great, we continued wandering around and decided, alright, let's head over to California Adventureland, because we had the pack hopper ticket, and California Adventureland was awesome. I feel like California Adventureland is much more fun than Disneyland in general, because the rides are a lot more extreme, it's a lot less busy, and you know, generally I preferred Adventureland to the actual Disneyland. They were both awesome, of course, and so we walked around there for a while and decided to go on the big-ass California Screamer roller coaster, which you'll be able to see in the background at some point, and that was by far and away the highlight of the day. That was absolutely fantastic. There was a loop-de-loop in it, and it was fast and awesome, and I love roller coasters. I absolutely love rides like that. Water parks, theme parks, everything. They're fantastic, and that was one of the best roller coasters I've been on. It was absolutely brilliant, and definitely the highlight of the day. The fact that the Machinima guys actually got us and, you know, paid for us to go to Disneyland was great, and it was one of the best experiences on the holiday. Second only to Universal Studios. I mean, they are different in their own respect. The main thing that made me prefer Universal Studios over Disney is that for Universal we had skip the line passes, so we didn't have to spend all day queuing. God, going on 5 rides in about 10 hours, not 10 hours, about 7 hours was just, Okay, so that was Disneyland, everybody. A fantastic experience. Everyone should go to Disneyland at least once because it's so magical. So, moving on to Universal Studios. Now, this for me, the definite highlight of the holiday. In fact, the rest of the video is probably going to be dedicated to that. But after Disneyland, we went back to the hotel, got ready, then we went to a barbecue at Jake's cousin's house. Stupidly again, I didn't take any pictures of that. Then after that, we went home. Now, in the morning, before Universal Studios, we ate at Kitchen 24 again. Kitchen 24 is so nice. Why isn't it in England? I would go constantly, you know, sitting outside, having a really nice breakfast. In fact, as it was my last day in America, and I wanted to have the most American-y breakfast possible, I thought I'd treat myself with this. Yes, It was really, really delicious. I felt true American by eating chocolate-covered pancakes for breakfast. Yes, indeed. So that was awesome. So, Universal Studios. Okay, so upon arrival at Universal Studios, FYI, that's just a picture of me and Jake looking all directory in the background, because why the hell not? But upon arrival at Universal Studios, we went across the bridge, joined with it! What? No, and we had to walk through Universal CityWalk. I say we had to walk through it like it was a chore. Universal CityWalk is amazing. As you can see from all the footage in the background, it's just like a massive, fantastical street full of awesome restaurants, awesome fast food places, just awesome shops, everything on, like, the best gift shop you've ever seen in the world, ever. Everything on that street was great. The aesthetic of it all was great. There was fountains, and, you know, like, models of cars crashing through walls. It just looked great, and it was absolutely... can I say great enough? Because I don't think I can! Okay, good. Excuse me. Well, no, I don't know where I'm going with this. Where... Got a little bit lost there, not gonna lie. But yes, Universal CityWalk was fantastic. Note how I didn't say great. I can imagine if I say great too much, it will start to grate. Yes, so we walked through Universal CityWalk and then found the Universal Hollywood sign, the globe that spins, which was fantastic. For some reason, whenever I see that, all I can think of is the beginning of Kenan and Kel, for anyone who's ever watched that, because, you know, that show was actually rather good. God, that's so long ago, I don't even know it's on anymore, but that's where I imagine that from. And then we come to the entrance of the actual park itself. We go in, show them our VIP, skip the line passes, which was awesome. Not having to queue for anything was fantastic. And then we enter the actual park itself, which is just absolutely great. It really is. At the very start is this lovely fountain with, like, poses of statues of film directors where people can take pictures, and, you know, we just generally had a wander around to start with. The first thing that we went on was the House of Horrors, as you will have seen or are seeing at some point in the background. A really, you know, lovely gory guy on the way to it. Now it was great fun. You walk around, scary shit's happening. Now what I didn't realise before going into that, thanks for the warning, Jake, was that there is actual actors in makeup, like film standard makeup, who are paid to go in there, jump out at you, run at you, and generally actually act as monsters and try and mess with you. Now, obviously, the first time that happens, I was like, ah! And literally, okay, we're walking down a corridor, and there's a door to your, not like a door, sort of like a curtain flap thing to your right, and, you know, I'm like, up till this point, it's a few minutes in, I'm like, ah, it's fine, this is alright, it's pretty scary, but, you know, everything's machines, and it's controlled, and it's fine. So So I see these people like jumping at this door, and I'm like, okay, so something's going to pop its head out and go back in, you know, machine and everything. So as I walk past, curtain goes back, this like ghost-like woman holding a knife bursts out and starts like hurtling towards me, and I'm like, okay, that's quite just not stopping. Like literally, I will admit, I got a little bit scared there. For some reason, Aaron and Jake in front of me, Harlow and Jake even, felt the need to not warn me at all, and you know, they were very amused by my fear. From that point onwards, once I knew that there was actors, it was fine. It's just that initial shock was certainly interesting. So you've probably been seeing various stuff from walking around Universal Studios where I told you about the haunted house. Now the next thing that we did was the Universal City Tour? No, the Universal Studios Tour, that's the one. And my god, the Studios Tour is something everyone should do in their lifetime. It was phenomenal. I have so much to say about this, so much footage on this, you don't even know. Okay, now to wax lyrical about the studio tour. Okay, so it started, our tour guide, by the way, was this guy, and he was really great. He was funny, and the stuff I mean, I imagine most of it is script, but they, you know, they put their own spin on how they tell you and everything, and he was really interesting to listen to. Got loads of facts and information about movie, like special effects, and movies that have happened, and the history of the studios. It was awesome, like, real props to that guy. He knew what he was doing, and he was certainly very entertaining. If the outside what you were looking at weren't entertaining enough for some stupid reason, then he certainly was. So we were just generally going round. We started looking at the various stages, looking at movie signs, we saw the directors' bungalows where they write stuff, and then we saw like this main central square, and just generally everything was great. We saw well, so many movies have been filmed, you would be amazed how many movies are filmed on exactly the same sets, and they just look completely different in the movies themselves. It's actually ridiculous. See if you can notice in the background footage the location for Bruce Almighty, okay? Because we saw that, and it really is apparent. So see if you can point out a timestamp on the video in the comments where you think Bruce Almighty was filmed, because that was really cool to see. Also, that same place was where Back to the Future was filmed, so there you go. I'm not just going to reel off all the facts we got told, because that would make it quite dull without being on the tour, you know, yourself, but it was really, really brilliant. Just factual, interesting, entertaining, and great for like 15 minutes. And then we got round to the King Kong bit. Now, god damn the King Kong bit, okay? Now, this is fantastic. You drive into this tunnel, like this dark tunnel, and the screen is 360 degrees all around the tram, and then this King Kong like movie starts playing. It's in 3D, the tram is shaking as like things fight over. Listen, okay, I'm just gonna let you watch this one because I recorded the entire thing. You realise you can't see it in 3D like we could wearing the glasses at the time, but I hope you get some kind of impression as to how amazing it was being there. It probably is joint the highlight of my entire day, and definitely one of the highlights of the holiday, okay? So enjoy. So there you have the King Kong tunnel. What more do I need to say about that? It was amazing. Okay, so we got out of the tunnel and went past a load of famous cars. Let's see how many you guys can name in the comments. If I had the audio on, he would be telling you them all, but let's see how many you can identify. We then went over to a special effects demonstration with 2 cars. Now this was really cool. They had bullets, fire, and I will show you a little bit that happened towards the end of it, which was, I mean, it wasn't a really long thing, but I'll show you the main thing at the end. Enjoy!
Pretty good special effects work, guys. Can you go ahead and take a bow?
Yeah.
And show them what else you can do. This type of special effect is called motion control because all of this motion is controlled by a computer. These aren't random movements. Every movement that you see right now is precisely programmed into a computer, which is connected to the arms underneath.
So yes, that was really cool, and the whole music thing was rather amusing, I will admit. So then after that, we went to drive past some of the stuff from Jurassic Park. That was really cool, saw some more sets, some cool scenery, and then we went to a place where they showed us how they do a special effects flood within the set. So I am just going to let you enjoy that. Yes, I am. I'm letting you enjoy a lot of things today, and how nice of me. So yes, have a watch.
Sitting on the left side of the tram. There's a flash flood coming. Keep your cameras protected so they don't get wet. Here it comes. This flash flood was used in a family film called Big Fat Liar.
Flash flood indeed. There's some really cool special effects, and to see them all just like straight up next to in your face was just fantastic. And talking of more fantastic special effects, after that we went to see how they filmed sort of the approach to the island in King Kong, how it's actually a miniature set that they recorded with very tiny boats and tiny island. It was awesome. They made the water like lower, so we sunk into the river and kind of rode across it, which was fantastic. We went, things are fantastic and great, okay, I can't help it. And then we went to this lake which had a electronic shark in it, as well as a diver. So I'm just going to let you enjoy the things that happened in this lake. Yes, I am.
They get it out in the water and they haven't caught it yet. So they got a police scuba diver kind of roaming around in the area. There's another shark! Right in the middle! I don't think the officer knows it's out there. Officer, come up a minute! The shark is right in front of you! Get to your boat! Get inside your boat! Are you alright? The shark ate him! Yay! That's great! I see where the shark is. It's right next to us.
That shark, I have to say, was fantastic. An interesting fact, that mechanical shark actually functions better than the one in Jaws, because the one in Jaws was terrible apparently. So there you go, you learn something new every Rage video. So as you can see, there is some warp speed tram footage in the background going through various things. In fact, third challenge of the video, how many films can you identify from what you just saw in the background? Whizzing by at miles an hour speeds, but there was some really cool stuff and I learned a lot. And then finally we come to the end of the studio tour, this wonderful, entertaining tour that you could go on over and over, was the tomb of the Lost Mummy, Lost Ancient, that film, Curse of the Mummy, Revenge of, that one with the scarabs eating people. Fortunately, I did record it, it's just a black screen again, so I'm not going to bother showing you it. You just saw the tunnel entrance, or you are seeing the tunnel entrance, or maybe it's in slow-mo because I've been talking for too long. You'll never know! Well, you will, because you're seeing it right now. So with that, the studio tour came to an end, and what a fantastic experience it was. We just, you know, finished up, got off the tram, and left after saying, "Well done you," to the guy giving us all the information. We then had a few rides left to do. First on the agenda was the Simpsons ride. Now, the Simpsons ride was really, really cool. It was another 3D immersion. You're in a cart that's moving, but you're not actually going anywhere type rides. The actual entrance of it was great. You have 4 Simpsons characters talking to you while you're queuing, and the whole thing just, it looks really cool, and the ride itself was awesome. The Simpsons characters are like talking to you, and you go on this roller coaster adventure. Really, really good fun. We then went for the triple threat of the big 3. The Revenge of the Mummy ride, the Transformers ride, and Jurassic Park the ride. Let's start with the order we went on them. Jurassic Park we went on first, the massive water ride. Brilliant. You get on it, you slowly float round, there's various dinosaur animatronics, they squirt water on you, you see the Velociraptor cage, it's shaking. You see various dinosaurs, then everything, all hell breaks loose, they break out their cages, they start going for you, you escape up into this water treatment plant, but then, like, raptors are breaking in through the ceiling and everything, and I wish I could have recorded it, I just didn't want to break my phone by getting it soaked, because you do get wet on this ride. Just before you leave the water treatment plant, a massive T-Rex breaks through the wall in front of you, like, leans down to try and take a bite out of the cart, as you then start plummeting down this, like, 80 feet drop of water, land at the bottom, and water everywhere. Hollow got absolutely soaked because he was on the outside. Fortunately, I was in the middle and remained relatively dry, but it was good. Then we went on the Revenge of the Mummy, which was a full-on roller coaster. You actually, you know, go for it, which was a nice break from the simulation rides. A very fast roller coaster, dips and turns, twists and turns. Really, really cool. It's like you're in a minecart type thing, and various holograms of the mummy laughing at you, and screens and scarabs, and you can feel the scarabs on your feet, and then it goes backwards and backtracks all the way you've just been, which was fantastic. I've never been backwards on a roller coaster before. Finally, we went on the Transformers ride. Now, before I tell you more about the Transformers ride, here, enjoy this very, very fun time clip of us walking down the corridor towards the ride.
Evac out for now.
What the hell, man? That is on camera. Jake, say hi. Fucking hell, man! I can't believe you just did that. Did you get? I got that. That's brilliant.
So yes, that was certainly some fun times. The ride itself was great. Now, this ride was a combination between a roller coaster and a simulation. You are actually moving on a track, but you also have constant screens around you, and you really feel like you're flying along with the Transformers, and they're fighting around you. It's just amazing. It's like King Kong combined with the Mummy roller coaster, and it was absolutely flawless. You would see Optimus Prime battle Megatron, and they're ripping each other up, and various Autobots and Decepticons fighting while you're whizzing round through this thing, and if you are a Transformer yourself, you're like the camera's perspective from the head of a Transformer, and you're helping out, and it's mind-blowing. It was by far the best ride at Universal Studios. It was just, it was really, really glorious. Lastly, we went and saw the show Waterworld, which was again brilliant. All actors from various American TV shows acting out the plot of the film Waterworld. If you haven't seen Waterworld, me neither actually, but maybe you should think about it. It's about the planet being completely covered in water and people just live on floats. I won't tell you anything more about it in case you do see it, but it was a really cool special effects. At one point a plane bursts through the wall and fire goes everywhere, and you know, it all happens in the place that you can see, and that was really entertaining to watch. And then that was really it. We left Universal Studios and went back through the CityWalk, had a look in a few shops, and that was really the end of the day. After that, we went to Jake's cousin, ate out again for the final evening. Nowhere special. We went to the Stonefire Grill again because we loved it so much, because it has the best breadsticks ever. Just ever, and then went back to the hotel, and that was it, really. We woke up the following morning, saw the Machinima guys one last time, had breakfast in IHOP. IHOP has got nothing on Kitchen 24, by the way. Kitchen 24 was gorgeous, IHOP was just I didn't actually like the IHOP pancakes, whereas the Kitchen 24 ones are amazing. Then headed to the airport and got on the plane home. Oh, I know, God, it sucked to leave. Next time we go, because we are going to go again, it was just too good not to. We're at least going to go for 2 weeks, because it was not enough time, and I realise it's kind of an abrupt, and that was the end of the America trick from the end of Universal Studios, but it was the very last day, and that is how it ended. Yes, indeed. So that has been the full America trip. Let me know what you thought of the full experience now that I have told you everything that has happened. I'm going to leave you with a clip that I recorded on the plane just before we took off on our way home. But for now, my name has been Rage. Please remember to like, favourite, share. I will see you all next time. God damn, I want to go back to America! A goodbye.
We kind of need to work in the airport. Alright. We're on the plane. It's a pain. It's a shame. Are the words that rhyme with those. Going home. Ah, I nearly dropped the camera. We're doing well. Hollow. What do you think about going home? Stop it! Stop it! Just say words! Speak your words! That is really... The camera perspective on that is really freaky, man.
Is there one here?
No.
This is so awesome.
I suppose that's better than a shrug. Jake, how would you describe going home? Fuck.